Hey y'all, and welcome to Well Jawn Wednesdays. I'm your host, Coach Ty, and this recording today, y'all, this episode we're gonna do is really gonna just allow you to get to know me a little better. I know the last time we were here, we spoke a little bit about seasonal affective disorder or depression, and we also talked about a vitamin D deficiency and what that might look like. So hopefully you really got some good information. You checked in with yourself to see, if that's something that you may be struggling with, and you reached out to your doctor to, ask about some possible strategies to correct the problem. So for today, we're going to just talk a little bit about me, okay? Because I want y'all to get to know me. I'm new to the scene, okay, but I'm really excited to share a little bit about who I am, what I do, and what I'm passionate about. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Coach Ty. I am a registered nurse with a specialty and a love for women's health, but I'm also a wellness coach, okay? I help women overcome some internal and external struggles, whether that be with your mental health, emotional health, physical health, social health, or even your spiritual health. And all of those things make up your holistic health, okay? So I'm, someone who really wants to help coach you through correcting some things so that you're taking better care of yourself, so that you're healthier and that your mental and emotional health is at its, peak level, okay? We want it to be really high. We want to feel good, look good, and all the things. Okay. So just so get to know me a little better, I want to let y'all know I'm a West Philly girl, okay, 52nd Street all day. I am a loving auntie of nine. Okay, yes, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine little ones. Some of them not so little. And like I mentioned to you just now, I have a passion for healing. Okay, I have a passion for helping women become their best selves, really checking in with themselves, becoming more self-aware, being able to really take some time to say, hey, how do I feel right now? Am I okay? Am I eating well? Am I sleeping well? Am I going out and socializing with my friends? Or am I just in the bed under the covers watching movies for the whole weekend? And that's not like me. So I really want to encourage women to explore that because, it's easy for us to take care of everyone else. That's just what we do. We just help, whether it be our parents, our children, nieces, nephews, whoever. But it's important for us to take care of ourselves so that we're able to take better care of those that we love. All right. So, I'm just very passionate about that. And I also just want women to take a minute to check in with themselves to see how they can be taking better care of themselves. So let's talk about why I created this platform, Well Jawn Wednesdays. I created Well Jawn Wednesdays because I felt like there wasn't a platform that I was maybe aware of where there was a space to just come together, build a sisterhood, build a community where we're able to learn a little bit because we get the education piece, where we can laugh, we could be silly, we could be funny, but we also want to feel inspired. We want to feel encouraged. We want to feel motivated to take steps towards being our most healthiest selves. And sometimes it's not easy to do that by yourself. You want to feel like, wow, I have this community, whether it's a virtual community or in person, but you want to feel like, wow, I have this community where I can check in every Wednesday, or I can go on this social media to see, what they're talking about. We have our little sisterhood, we have our community where we can really just all encourage each other, support each other, grow together, heal together. It's important. I've done it myself. Just to share a little more about me, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was at my heaviest weight. Okay. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. I knew my weight was becoming an issue, but I really didn't have the tools to lose weight. I never really was going to the gym regularly, never thought about what I was eating. And it just got to the point where I said, I got to do better. So I enrolled in like a fitness program at the job where I was at the time. I saw a therapist. I really just made a decision because I had been thinking about it for so long. And sometimes we as women, that's what happens, right? Like we'll be thinking about something like, I don't like the way I look. Maybe I want to gain weight. Maybe I want to lose weight. Maybe, I want a different I don't know, hairstyle. Like we just think about things and we might feel bad about those things, but we're not actively doing anything to change it. And then it just comes time where one day we or get fed up and we're like, I'm going to change it, and we do it. And that's what I did. I lost 40 pounds. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I'm still keeping the weight off because that's an ongoing thing. I'm still trying to eat better, but I really was at that place where I was not healthy. And I'm not only talking about being healthy from the outside, being in shape and looking right, but I wasn't healthy mentally. I wasn't healthy emotionally. I didn't feel like my best self. And I remember at the time, I didn't really have a sisterhood. I didn't have a community. So that's why, again, I created Well Jawn Wednesdays because I wanted to be a virtual community that one day can turn into an actual community of women who are just on this wave of just healthier living inside and outside. Okay. So again, that's why I created Well Jawn Wednesdays. I do hope it'll be a help to you all. I hope you feel comfortable. I hope you'll engage with me on here, that you'll use this as a platform to, leave a comment or share it with a woman who you feel could benefit because we're going to be talking about some different things, some different topics. We may talk about high blood pressure and how prevalent that is in the community, especially as Black women. We'll talk about, things that's like GYN related. So cervical cancer, endometriosis, fibroids. We'll talk about anxiety, depression, maybe even ADHD and how that presents in women because it's different, for women as opposed to men. But let's talk about, I want us to talk about some lighter things. What's your favorite wellness, strategy? For me, I love candles, right? And that's something so simple. But I just love lighting candles. They smell good, especially good ones, from Bath and Body Works or wherever, where it just smells good. It just makes you feel good. And so I want us to remember that wellness are those little things that just make us happy. Maybe it's your favorite tea or coffee or again a candle, a fragrance. Maybe you like getting a facial, a massage, whatever makes you feel good and more well. That's important as women that we tap into those things and that we make them a priority because again we can't take care of anybody else if we're not taking care of ourselves first. Okay, so let me let y'all in a little bit about Coach Ty. Who is Coach Ty? I mean, I told y'all a little bit. I told y'all I'm a nurse. I told y'all I'm a wellness coach. I told y'all I'm from West Philly all day. But what else? What else? What are some other little, things about me? So I'll tell y'all. My name is Ty, Tai, and that's my full name, y'all. It's not short for nothing. That's it. Them 3 letters, okay? And I'm obsessed with all things travel. Okay. I love getting on a plane and getting out of here. I just love it. It's a part of my wellness. I also love Riri. I am team Rihanna Navy all day. Okay. And I always got to say this. I love my girl B. Okay. I'm also a part of the Beehive. So it's not one or the other, but I'm just saying if I had to choose who's my girl, it's going to be Riri. But again, I love Beyonce. That's my girl. I'm also a very big fan of pink, of the colors gold. I love tattoos. I love piercings. I love having a good time, okay? I just love having fun, enjoying life, doing new experiences. And with this new year coming up, I want to do some new things. I want to set some new goals. Maybe jump out of a plane, do something crazy. Okay. You only live once. So I just want to, again, give y'all a little insight into who I am as Coach Ty, because I want you to get to know me. I want you to get to really trust that I want to bring you good information. And I want you to feel comfortable reaching out. Again, whether that be in a comment, in a DM, if you follow me on Instagram, if you see some of the other things that I'm working on, some of the other projects, I just want us as women to come together, okay, in a very authentic way, very genuine way. Because sometimes you might hear, oh, yeah, girl, and it just don't be feeling like love, So I want to create a community where we as women can show love to each other and genuinely support each other And if it's somebody that maybe, is doing something that you're interested in, like I want us to have that community where it's like, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? How did you get into that world? Do you have a resource or somebody who, could give me more information? Like I just want it again to be a hub of all things health and wellness while also building that sisterhood as well as that community. So, like I mentioned, y'all, I have a lot of good things coming this year 2025. I have a lot of topics in mind. I have a lot of things I want to discuss, but I want to hear from you, okay? I want to make sure that you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, that you're listening to the pod. If when I post the audio of these episodes, I want you to make sure you are sharing this with friends. You may have heard on the last Well Jawn Wednesday where I talked about the Safe Haven. That is a free virtual wellness space that I offer for women every month during the second Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I create this space where we as women come together and we talk about some good topics. For this past year, December, we talked about, for this past month, we talked about making peace with the new year. So, it'll be topics that's kind of relevant to the month that we're in, where everything that is said will stay there. You'll be heard, you'll be acknowledged, you'll be supported. And again, this is another way that I want to bring women in our community together to talk about some very sensitive topics in a space where you feel comfortable to share. And even with the Safe Haven, it's introvert, extrovert friendly. So if you don't want to show up on camera, if you want to just utilize the chat, if you want to just listen in and just maybe say something and not show your face, that's fine. It's about what makes you most comfortable, okay? Because the hope would be that maybe one day you can feel more comfortable showing up on camera. So with that being said, I hope you all got to know me a little bit better, got to know Coach Ty, okay? Because again, I'm excited about where we're headed. I'm excited about all of the good things we'll talk about, the change that we will be making. It's a new year coming. We have an opportunity to just create some new things and just to spread some good positive energy, some healing energy, some wellness energy out there to everyone who may need it, y'all. So again, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I will see y'all next time. Be well and take care. Bye.